it is time for possibly the most ambitious and exciting AVNJ's adventures yet. I believe this is the 10th, maybe it's the 11th, I don't really know, maybe it's the 12th. I'm bad at keeping count. All I know is that I'm going to Anchorage, Alaska in November. I'm not going to Anchorage, Alaska in the summer when the weather's on the nicer side. I'm going to Anchorage, Alaska when it's freezing fucking cold, when the days are short, and when there's not as many people there. So I've spent the past few weeks preparing. I've got Adidas Under Armour body equipment. I've got waterproof shoes. I've got my waders. I've got the heaviest clothing that I could possibly find. I am excited. I've never done like an intro where I'm still in New Jersey because I want this to be more documentary style. I want to record a shitload of footage and make this trip into a memory, make this trip into something awesome to look back on. So this isn't just going to be the typical AVNJ's adventures where I just stitch together a couple clips from a day in a stream. This is about a week in Alaska, trying to see as many awesome things as I can and putting it together in a beautiful format. So I hope you enjoy. Let's get going. I've officially made it. I'm in Alaska. Why am I in Alaska in November? In the winter? There's snow on the ground outside. It is like 20 degrees. I don't know. Well, it's 9 p.m. Do you know how many times it was 7 p.m.? I was on that flight and I got the nice Wi-Fi so that I could, watch videos and whatever during the flight. It was only $5. About like an hour into the flight, it was 7 p.m. All right. And then another hour into the flight, it was 8 p.m. And right as my phone goes to turn to 8 p.m., boom, time zone switch at 7 p.m. again. And then we build up and I'm another hour on the flight and we reach 8 p.m. again. And nope, it's 7 p.m. again. I bet you're not seeing what's going to come next. That's right. Another hour passed and boom, it was 7 p.m. again. And then I had to wait another 2 hours to get here. It was 7 p.m. like 4 times. And now it's 9 p.m. But home in New Jersey, it's fucking 1 a.m. So I feel absolutely exhausted because it would be 1 a.m. at home. So I want to go to sleep. But if I go to sleep now, I'm going to wake up way too early for the 9 a.m. sunrise. And I can't go out until sunrise. And then breakfast is 6 to 9. There's a lot going on. I'm fucking alone in Alaska. I don't really know what's going on or why I'm here. I was like 50-50 on whether this trip was going to cause me a giant mental breakdown of like sadness and loneliness, or if it was going to be really freeing. And I'm still not really sure which direction we're going. So I think I'm going to just go to bed and we'll figure it out in the morning. Okay, so it is 7 a.m. But actually not. Actually, it's 6 a.m. because it was daylight savings last night and I didn't even realize. So I went to bed with 10 hours to get of sleep. I got 9 hours and I'm still 2 hours early. So I guess I'll go eat breakfast and prep my trip for the day. Can't complain about some homemade eggs and potatoes. It's honestly a better breakfast than I've had in a really long time. I'm listening to this Malaysian thing to learn for when I go to Malaysia. And it sounds like I'm listening to my daily affirmations.
You are very handsome.
Thank you. That's so nice of you. Because it's just reading out a bunch of phrases in Malaysian so that I can start to memorize them. But they're all like compliments. It's like, you are very handsome. You are awesome. You look great today. And so I'm learning how to say them in Malaysian. Awak sangat tampan. But like, it just sounds to the person in the other room probably like I'm listening to my fucking daily affirmations. The sun is about up, and it is time to stuff my waders into this tiny backpack, and then stuff my net into this tiny backpack, and then put on like 5 layers of clothing on every part of my body, and then throw some hand warmers in there. And then, and only then, will I walk down this beautiful street to the ocean, I think. It's probably where I'm gonna go first because it's connected to a lagoon, which is connected to a stream. It'll all lead into each other. It'll make sense. Let's go. Okay, the Under Armour equipment is so tight. This looks absolutely ridiculous. I look like I'm wearing one of those like muscle shirts that people wear in superhero movies. Is this gonna keep me warm? I don't know. Looks great though. Woo-hoo. I never am able to see the steam on camera. I'm off. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be for being sub 10. I believe it's 9 degrees right now. I probably look fucking ridiculous. I've got this pole sticking out of my backpack, half of a net in my hand. But I think, honestly, I've over-prepared. I put the foot warmers, 2 foot warmers, in between my 3 layers of socks, and my feet feel great. The only thing I'm worried about is my face. I've got hand warmers for my hands, feet warmers for my feet, my toes. They feel great and toasty. The only thing I'm worried about is my face might get cold. But as of now, I'm feeling okay. But spending a long time out here could be hard. But I did borrow a scarf. Shout out to Angie who lent me a scarf. So if it does get too cold for my face, I'll be fine. But look at this. It's not a far walk at all. Right at the end of the road there, that's the fucking ocean. So we're gonna go on the ocean. We're gonna go on the trail that goes along the ocean, look for cool stuff, walk over to the lagoon, and then check out some of the streams attached to that. So let's see. Holy shit, look at that. That's crazy. Holy shit. Like, come on. That's out of a movie, surely. Alright, so I've been walking for a while, trying to find unfrozen water. I'm gonna head to the stream on the far side of the lagoon, because I've had no luck so far. The lagoon's frozen, the beach is inaccessible, and the connection is inaccessible. So I've been trying to do that, but my face has been getting really cold. Everything else I feel really prepared for, like I'm doing really well, but my face has been having problems. So, the old-fashioned solution, I got my face mask, which I just happened to have in my backpack. Even though there was no reason for me to bring it on this walk because I wasn't going in any buildings or near any other people, I have the face mask. So I've been wearing that and my face feels much warmer. So I was kind of slowing down before, thinking I wasn't going to last as long because of my face, but I'm feeling good now. I think we're good to go. I have arrived at the lagoon. I'm not sure where it's ice and where it's land, so I'm not sure if I'm going to approach. I think I'll go a bit further downstream and find a more safe spot. There's a lot of nice ducks waiting around. I did see what I think are magpies, and I saw another bird, but I didn't manage to get a picture. So hopefully I'll get a picture later. I stuck my net in the water briefly, and now it's stiff. The net itself is, yeah. So, I don't know. We'll see if I'm able to actually do anything. Today is the coldest day, to be fair. Tomorrow, I mean, less of this will be frozen, ideally. See, like that looks like land right there, but it's probably just ice that I shouldn't walk on. Tomorrow, less of this will be frozen, hopefully, and I can get more done. But I'm gonna still see what I can get done today and explore the area and get to know everything first. Holy shit, I just stuck the net through this like little tiny thing coming out of the sewer here. I didn't expect anything, but I caught a fish. I caught a fish. I am actually going to have caught something in Alaska. Oh, that's so sick. I was worried that I was gonna find nothing. So let me get him in the container, goddamn. It would appear that we have caught ourselves a stickleback. He looks like he has a couple more than 4, so I'm gonna say this is probably a 9-spine stickleback. 9-spine sticklebacks are super cool. I'm not sure of their whole range or how close it is to just being Alaska or anything, but this is definitely a cool thing to catch, and it lets me know that I can catch things in these little muddy puddles here, which is sick. I'm gonna get my macro lens and take some better pictures of him. Look at him. What a beautiful and odd creature. It is less than 10 degrees outside right now. This lagoon is all but completely frozen, and just chilling in the swampy waters, this man. Amazing what fish can survive through. So I've finally pulled out the waders, and I'm just wading in this little muddy side piece thing here, and I've been seeing a lot of things moving, and I just caught something interesting. It doesn't look like a stickleback to me, I might be wrong, but we'll find out. I'm gonna try and get it in the container. It is kind of a pain to work through this. I don't want to get stuck in the mud. Mud is a big deal in Alaska. You can get stuck and just die. So I'm being very precautionary and doing everything I can. Now, hello there. That looks like a sculpin. That is the last thing I was expecting to see in a freezing Alaskan creek, is a beautiful tiny baby sculpin. But he is quite pretty. I'm impressed. This is really cool. This is not something I would expect to catch in this weird little spot that I'm in. But I guess you can find all sorts of weird stuff. So I scooped right along the stream here in a somewhat deeper part, and I pulled up a pretty decent sized fish, and I thought, oh man, I've got the Alaskan blackfish. And then, not quite. It's just a bigger sculpin. I don't know if there's multiple sculpin species or if I'm just catching the same species of different sizes, but it is a big and very pretty boy. Well, it turns out that the area right here actually isn't muddy at all. The side thing was totally muddy, but the stream itself is very normal. I mean, it's like a rocky, shallow creek like I would find anytime at home. So I think I'm gonna head up it as much as I can, see if I can find something. I don't know if the stream will probably be a worse spot to find things than that little side thing was, but it's certainly easier to walk around in and to net in, so I'm not complaining. This is a gorgeous creek, and to me it feels like one of those typical Alaskan creeks where you would see those huge salmon runs coming through, but that happens in the summer and, you know, in the early fall, and we're in late fall getting close to winter here, so I'm not gonna find any, but I did manage to find some other interesting and cool stuff like the sticklebacks and the sculpins. No Alaskan blackfish, but I also didn't expect it to be here. I was planning on going to the Palmer Hay Flats. That's where I had been recommended to go. It's the more swampy area where I'd have better luck. And that would be more lagoon-like, so hopefully it's not frozen over. I don't know the exact geography. I'm gonna have to do some research tonight, but tomorrow is gonna be much warmer. Today it's like 10 to 12 degrees. Tomorrow it's gonna be like mid-20s, so we should be good. All right, the sun will be setting soon. I am back at the hotel now. I think I caught 3 species is my guess, but who knows? All the sculpins could be the same and all the sticklebacks could be the same. But there's also a possibility that they were different there because there are 2 sticklebacks here and I think there are multiple sculpins as well. So it's possible. So we'll see. I'm gonna order food and enjoy the fact that I have like 8 hours of nighttime of darkness before it'll be time to go to sleep. All right, I got Papa John's because Papa John's supports Melee and I love companies that support Melee. And more interestingly, there was an Alaskan boba tea place. So this is a smoothie. I mixed mango and coconut into a smoothie that they then put boba in, which I am quite excited for. So, oh my God, it's really good. I've never had boba in a smoothie. Amazing. Pizza. Papa John's. It's a good day in Anchorage. All right, after some research, I have found that the sculpins that we found were actually 2 different species, neither of which were slimy sculpin, which is the sculpin that was reported on iNaturalist here. Turns out there are other sculpins here. In fact, there are 3 freshwater sculpins here, and I didn't catch a slimy sculpin. I caught a coast range sculpin, which was the little cute guy, and then a prickly sculpin, which was the big guy that had more dark coloration. I talked to some people online and used a identification guide and was able to actually find the clear defining characteristics of each in each of the pictures of the fish. And then the stickleback was a prickly 9-spine stickleback. Unfortunately, I did not find any 3-spine sticklebacks, but hopefully I'll resolve that tomorrow. Tomorrow, my plan is I'm going to go to the nearby, not nearby, today I walk. Tomorrow I'm gonna take an Uber to a park that's like 15 minutes away. There's a stream that starts to head up the mountains. I don't think you guys, you can't see it from this side of the hotel because this side of the hotel goes to the ocean. But the other side of the hotel is just Alaskan mountains, and there's a stream that like heads up it from a park in a residential area. And I'm gonna go see what I can't dip net there tomorrow. All right, day 2 for breakfast today. Once again, got the potatoes, a little bit of an omelet deal, and then some nice yogurt. The plan today I was originally going to go to this place called Mirror Lake, which had been known to have the Alaskan blackfish, which was what I was looking for. But it's gonna be in the 20s today, which is significant improvement of yesterday. Yesterday it was like sub 10 degrees the entire day, but it's gonna be in the 20s today. So the lake is still likely gonna be frozen. Basically what I did is I went on Google Maps, and instead of using iNaturalist to find fish like I usually do, I just found a nice looking creek on the eastern side of Anchorage, so towards the mountains. See more wildlife probably because it's just right on the edge of the city. It's mostly mountainous there and wildlife, and found this nice stream that heads its way up the mountain, and I'm just going to explore that. I may find absolutely nothing because, like I said, there were no observations of anything there. Or I might find something interesting. I'm gonna try and find the Alaskan blackfish. I'm gonna try to find the 3-spine stickleback or 4-spine stickleback. Those are both supposedly here, and I only found a bunch of 9 spines yesterday. So hopefully I can find one of those. That is about it as far as goals go. Yeah, let's do it. All right, the beginning of day 2 adventures begin. I'm not so confident about this spot, though I wasn't so confident yesterday and I still found cool things, so who knows. It's pretty fast, it's pretty shallow. It doesn't seem to be muddy at all, so I'm gonna put on my waders and just kind of go for it and walk upstream. Behind me are the giant mountains. I'll try to get a better shot of them at some point because they are absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, I'm just gonna walk through the stream, kick some rocks, hold my net, hope for the best. That's about it. Don't know if I find anything, but here we go. Okay, so I walked upstream for a bit and I found this spot, which is much slower than the spots before and after it, which means that it's a bit deeper. So I threw my underwater camera in there. So I thought, hey, maybe there's a chance. Well, after just a little bit of going around and finding absolutely nothing, I saw something move on a rock, took a quick typical scoop like I would do in New Jersey, and found this beautiful man. I'm assuming some kind of salmon, one of the younger ones that was either born here or got trapped here and didn't manage to make it out for the winter. I don't know the ID yet, but I will do some work later. He is very beautiful though. Super cool thing to come across. It was just like this little side stream thing. As always, it seems like the little side pools do the best. But now that I've actually seen a fish here, I hadn't seen a fish here my entire time here. I've been here for like 20 minutes and seen absolutely nothing. So now that I've seen something, I'm a bit more encouraged. And I'm gonna keep going and hopefully I can find more beautiful guys like this. So I found this nice spot where the stream comes into a lake and there's a beautiful little outflow here. I managed to catch 0 fish below the outflow, but just like a quick, easy swing above it, and we got ourselves another sculpin. I think this is another coast range sculpin, but prickly is also possible. I haven't looked too specifically, but even more interestingly than our sculpin friend, take a look at that. I'm getting closer and closer to the mountains. It's just insane how large and awesome they are. Super cool. I'm gonna keep heading that way as I move down the stream, or I guess up the stream, but I am excited to see. Well, what the flying fuck is going on here? This is right over this hill is the normal lake. But over here, there's like a weird, muddy, sandy lake. I'm not gonna fuck with it because this looks like where there would be mud and where you'd get dragged down. But it's super funky and cool. I'll bet when it's not frozen, it's pretty amazing. But even frozen, I mean, this is a just cool sight. Look at all the frozen trees. It's really beautiful. I wonder if there's anything living under the ice. I'm sure there's some sticklebacks. I'm actually mildly shocked. I can kind of just walk in this. It's not really muddy and it's pretty shallow, as in all the places it's unfrozen at least. I haven't found any fish yet, but I mean, I can kind of just walk. So I can explore and see maybe if I do come across something. I don't know what you call this effect. They're like feathers on the ice. Look at this. It's like Christmas trees that just formed because of the way the ice froze here. Super cool. I don't know what it's called. or if it's even a common phenomenon. Maybe I've just never seen this before, but how the hell does the ice form like that? Is it on a tiny plant that got frozen? Or is it just somehow mimicking plant? I don't know. It's pretty cool. How's this for a view? Holy shit. Just took a random trail off the stream to this beautiful field. Wow. That's crazy. I'm just here. And it's actually warm today. Yesterday it was like 10 degrees at the highest, and I was feeling pretty cold at some points, especially my face. Oh, there goes an airplane taking off. But today, the temperature is like 21 or 22, which you might not think would make a difference. I mean, it's only like less than 10 degrees or so higher. But man, today it feels warm. Like I'm overheating a little bit with everything I have on. My face feels good. I think there's a little frozen water on my mustache, but hey, you know, everything feels good, which is really nice. It's actually a much more comfortable day to see the beautiful Alaskan countryside. Well, once again, this time going through some vegetation, which is not how I've caught a fish here yet. Caught another one of these young salmon. Make sure to keep him in the water so he isn't shocked by being in the air. But there does seem to be something about this little side stream. I went backwards, and I'm going through the little side stream again and found another little baby salmon. So more than one has been left behind here. All right, so I am home on day 2. I was gonna spend a little bit longer out there, but there were a couple things going on that made me think that I should probably head home. One being, while trying to catch one of the salmon that I came across, I dropped my right glove in the water, which meant that my right hand was going to be exposed for the rest of the time. And if I spent too long out there, you know, I'm risking my right hand getting too cold. So I didn't want to do it with that. Another thing was I ran out of water. They didn't have any way to get water at this hotel. I think there's a vending machine somewhere that I'm going to find, but like most hotels have a place to refill your water. I couldn't refill my water bottle. So I've been living off of the water that I brought from home. And I'm finally out of that water. So I'm going to probably have to go to the vending machine. And then the third thing is there's a snowstorm coming soon. And in Alaska, you don't fuck with snowstorms. They can come kind of out of nowhere and crazy. This one, luckily, we had a few hours advance notice. So I got home with plenty of time to chill, lay in bed, figure out what I'm gonna do, and get some stuff done before the snowstorm happens. Side note, if you are Angie and you are watching this right now, skip ahead a minute. For everybody else, you may remember at the beginning of the video I said how I had gotten lent a scarf by Angie, one of my housemates, and it was very nice of her to lend me a scarf here. Well, the first day I arrived, walking down the first street, the scarf fell out of my backpack, and I didn't notice until way later, and I couldn't go back at that point. So the past day and a half, basically, the scarf was unknown, unfounded. I thought I was gonna have to go home and tell Angie that I didn't know where it was and that I had lost her scarf. But while driving by on the way back to the hotel today, hung up on a street sign, meaning someone picked it up from the ground and hung it up so that I could come back and find it. So shout out to that random Alaskan person, was the scarf. So I will be returning Angie's scarf. Angie, if you're here, you can start watching again. Third note, this thing. My great uncle gave me this thing, and he said, if you can figure out what to do with it, I'll be impressed. I've figured out a couple of the things, so it's got a keychain part, obviously. This thing here, my friend said is a type of bottle opener. And then this is also obviously a bottle opener. And then I guess this is probably also a bottle opener. So that left every mystery unsolved except for the little red tip here at the edge. And I managed to figure out what it did today, and I found a use for it. So if you don't know, phones respond to like the warmth of your touch, of your skin, or some kind of texture or something. A phone basically won't work. Like if you put your hand in a sock and then try to use your phone, it basically most of the time won't work. Which is a problem when I'm out there in, 5-degree weather like yesterday, and I'm trying to take pictures and videos and utilize my phone, but I have to take off my glove every single time I want to do that, and every time I'm doing that, I'm risking getting my hand wet and so forth. So I figured out that this actually works as a stylus. like a DS stylus. I can use it on the phone. So today I didn't have to take my glove off basically at all to take pictures of the fish I caught, take pictures of the mountains, any of those cool videos. I didn't have to take it off because I could use this with the glove on. So shout out to my great uncle, gave me a tool he didn't know what it did, and I found a good use for it. That's about it. I'm gonna order food now. I may or may not order another boba smoothie from the same place. I'm not addicted, I swear. It's just really good, and I'm only gonna be here another day. And I'm gonna say this now to hold myself accountable, because I told myself that when I came to Alaska, I was going to compose some music, because I had composed some songs already, and I wanted to compose a waltz. So, to hold myself accountable, the next portion of the video will be a montage of some of the cool videos that I've taken that didn't have commentary and cool wildlife, and behind it playing will be a waltz that I composed. And if not, I want you all to comment that I suck and never watch again. So that's my motivation. Okay, I'm gonna go get boba tea. See you guys later. I'm not an addict, I swear. It's different because this time I got sour green apple and watermelon, which is different totally than my mango coconut from yesterday. Still fire though. All right, it is day 3. I woke up today kind of sick. So on the plane ride here, there was a family and none of them were wearing masks and all of them were coughing violently. And I sat on the plane with them for 6 hours. And then the person next to me on the plane, also coughing, also no mask. So it's not exactly hard to figure out where I got sick from, but I am sick. And so I didn't feel like it was a good idea to try to go out and push myself this morning. My flight's at 4 anyways, so I'm just going to get some good food and then take my flight home, double mask up, resist the urge to cough. I ain't gonna spread this to anybody else, even though the assholes that spread it to me didn't even have a second care in the world, didn't even consider wearing a mask. So fuck you to those people, but I'm not gonna pass the bad karma on. Alaska was good. It was a fun trip. I didn't see a ton of species of fish, but I didn't necessarily expect to. I mean, I wasn't expecting to come across like a shitload of new species. I think I caught 4 new species to me, and 3 of them are only really here. The stickleback, the 9-spine stickleback you can find in New Jersey. I just haven't really looked for sticklebacks at all. So overall, pretty good. Solid 4 species. Got to enjoy some time in Alaska. I got to experience some Russian culture from within. In New Jersey, there's like some groups of Russian people and there's some Russian restaurants, but they're not very good. Here, there's a lot of Russians because Alaska is very close to Russia. And the Russian restaurant that I went to, Anchorage Pelmeni, if you're ever in Anchorage, go to Anchorage Pelmeni. It's so good. I love pelmeni so much. Yeah, that's about it. I hope you enjoyed watching this one. I tried to make it a little longer, more documentary style, have more stuff. It's over the course of a couple days. I thought it would be a fun adventure because it's rare to see someone go to Alaska in the winter. All right. Have a good day, everyone. Thank you for watching.